He's the highest earning American game show contestant in history, winning a record $2.5 million, and he remains Jeopardy's all-time champion. If your answer is, who is Ken Jennings? You are correct. Now Jennings is sharing his knowledge with the next generation of whiz kids. His Junior Genius Guides are published by Simon Schuster, a division of CBS. Ken Jennings, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Let's talk about you, Jeopardy. I mean, you had an incredible streak on Jeopardy, winning $2.5 million. Why now these books?
You know, when I was a kid, I was like a sponge for this kind of thing. You know, these Guinness Book of World Records and Ripley's Believe It or Not, these books full of facts. And I have a son who's now carbon copy of me. He's 11. And I thought, you know, with kids, you can make a change. You know, their brains are so active. With a kid, it's not too late. You can persuade them that maps might be cool or Greek myths might be cool.
But is it focus, or is it something about the way your brain's configured, you think, and your son?
I feel like it's just curiosity. You know, these Jeopardy people I meet, and maybe my son someday, I don't know. They're just people who are interested in everything. And when you're interested in stuff, you know, facts just stick.
But did I hear you say that you like knowing something that your parents didn't know?
Oh, that was huge.
That you got a big kick out of knowing something.
Yeah, I'd played Trivial Pursuit against my parents back when it came out. It was a fad in the 80s, and it was just such a mark of adulthood when you beat mom or dad to a piece of baby boomer trivia. You know, that's great.
You know, I have young kids, and I watch this with them when they came home and tell me something about a frog, you know what I mean, that they learned in science class, the idea that they knew something I didn't know. Kids love trivia. It's actually education. I mean, it's learning something about our world. It's not just fun jokes or fun facts. It's instructive.
Right, we call it trivia, but it's not trivial at all. You know, I say in the books that I think it's better to know something about everything than everything about something. And like I say, with kids, it's not too late. With kids, you tell them something funny or interesting about maps or about Greek myths, and for the rest of their life, they could think Greek myths are cool, which, you know, that's a win.
What's your favorite trivia about in your maps book? You had a lot of little nuggets in there.
I had never heard of this before I wrote the book, but there's this place on the border of like Norway, Finland, and Russia all meet at one point, and because of the way the time zones work out, you can travel back in time 4 hours just by like taking one step across the border, which is cool.
How has your Jeopardy stardom changed your life?
It's changed everything about my life. I used to be a computer programmer, and I was not particularly good at my job and not particularly happy doing it. And instead of a midlife crisis, I went on a game show, and now I'm a freelance writer, and I get to work from home. I see my kids off to school, and then I go write trivia about maps or whatever is interesting to me that day.
So what happens when you hear Alex Trebek's voice? You start twitching?
My son wants to watch Jeopardy every night, and I'm like, no, not Jeopardy, because, you know, even though I paid for our house, every time I hear the music or I hear Trebek's Canadian dulcet Canadian tones, you know, I get very antsy because it's like I'm back in.
Is Jeopardy international?
I've heard there's Jeopardy in a few other countries. There's a Mexican version and a couple European versions, I think. Somebody in Australia recognized me the other day. I think they get it there a year later or something.
Well, Chris
Called
Jennings,
syndication.
great to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Congratulations on your success in the books.